Are you ready to revolutionize education in your institution of learning? Welcome to the Tech-Enabled Teachers Conference 2024, where innovation meets inspiration. The theme of this conference is Empowering Educators, Leveraging AI for Teaching and Learning. Join us as we explore cutting-edge AI tools that are transforming classrooms around the globe. From personalized learning experiences to advanced data analytics, discover how AI is empowering educators to unlock every student potential. We are thrilled to present an incredible lineup of speakers which includes Afenwo Rotimi Abiodun, Thaddeus Akinwule, Lisa Welsh, Professor Dr. Sasa Asowski, Dr. Bosede Iyade Edwards, Edwin Lowe, Liz Shahid, Elizabeth Brombo, Elwin Gregorio, Shoan Chowdhury, Isaac Bankole, Yannick Islampiachi, Tim Evans. Topic of discussion includes personalization over standardization, a path forward with AI, time-saving tips to transformative teaching moments, using AI for personalized student learning and engagement, AI in higher education, pushing the boundaries of distance learning and tutoring, navigating the integration of AI in K-12 classrooms. The conference also features deep dives and panel sessions. Immerse yourself in hands-on workshops, inspiring keynote sessions, and meaningful networking opportunities with fellow educators and tech pioneers. Don't miss out on the opportunity to transform your teaching practice. Register now for the Tech-Enabled Teachers Conference and be a part of the future of education. Empower yourself, empower your teachers, empower your students. Leverage the power of AI. See you at CETC, where the future of education begins.
So I will be the one going through the slides because I wanted us to meet so that you can.
Kelvin Gregorio is the Director of Learning Services at St. Joseph Preparatory School in Philadelphia, where he works with teachers, students, and administrators to improve student outcomes. Additionally, Kelvin is a PhD candidate in the Educational Psychology Doctoral Program at the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine, where he studies retrieval practice and self-regulated learning in adolescents. TETC, let's welcome together Kelvin Gregorio. Elizabeth has experience in public and private schools across grade levels from early childhood education through higher education. She holds a doctorate in education and a master's of science in educational leadership. Her research focuses on teacher wellness and makerspace. She has been a classroom English teacher, vice principal, and regional manager of educational technology before her current position at an independent school focused on teacher professional learning and teaching a 6th grade innovation lab course. She co-authored Creating a Google Apps Classroom published by Shell Education. She was the California State Technology Administrator of the Year in 2015 and earned a variety of honors including the title of Google Certified Innovator over the course of her career. TETC, together let's welcome Elizabeth Brombo. Are you ready to revolutionize education in your institution of learning? Welcome to the Tech-Enabled Teachers Conference 2024, where innovation meets inspiration. The theme of this conference is Empowering Educators, Leveraging AI for Teaching and Learning. Join us as we explore cutting-edge AI tools that are transforming classrooms around the globe. From personalized learning experiences to advanced data analytics, discover how AI is empowering educators to unlock every student potential. We are thrilled to present an incredible lineup of speakers which includes Afenwo Rotimi Abiodun, Thaddeus Akinwule, Lisa Welsh, Professor Dr. Sasa Asowski, Dr. Bosede Iyade Edwards, Edwin Lowe, Liz Shahid, Elizabeth Brombo, Elwin Gregorio, Shoan Chowdhury, Isaac Bankole, Yannick Islampiachi, Tim Evans. Topic of discussion includes personalization over standardization, a path forward with AI, time-saving tips to transformative teaching moments, using AI for personalized student learning and engagement, AI in higher education, pushing the boundaries of distance learning and tutoring, navigating the integration of AI in K-12 classrooms. The conference also features deep dives and panel sessions. Immerse yourself in hands-on workshops, inspiring keynote sessions, and meaningful networking opportunities with fellow educators and tech pioneers. Don't miss out on the opportunity to transform your teaching practice. Register now for the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference and be a part of the future of education. Empower yourself, empower your teachers, empower your students. Leverage the power of AI. See you at TETC, where the future of education begins.
All right, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Welcome once again. So this is my mic check. If you can hear me, I want you to type TETC in the chat box, so that I know you can hear me. If you can hear me, please type TETC so I know that you can hear me. Welcome to the Tech Enabled. Thank you very much, TETC. I see one TETC. I see another. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So you're welcome to the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference, right? If you are here, you are either an educator, right, or a tech enthusiast, or you own an institution of learning. Welcome, right? I want to welcome you especially to the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference, right? Just before we begin, I want you to do something. Please, can you go to the WhatsApp group? If you belong to the WhatsApp group, go there and say TETC is live. Just go to the WhatsApp group quickly in 2 seconds and type TETC is live, so that every other person who is yet to join will come on board and join the conference, right? Just go there in 2 seconds, just go there and come back, minimize and type TETC is live. I want to see the WhatsApp group blazing, right? I want to see comments in the WhatsApp group. I want to see people joining. At the moment, we have 74 people on the call, and we have about over 1,000 registered. So we have more people to be here, right? So just go on the WhatsApp group and say TETC is live. I want to see that happening. Welcome to the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference. Now, this conference is designed to enhance teachers' productivity, right? If you're a facilitator, an educator, it is designed to enhance your productivity as a teacher, right? We are going to be exploring cutting-edge AI tools that are transforming classrooms all around the world, right? We are looking at the subject of AI in empowering educators, right? I'm not yet seeing enough comments on the WhatsApp group. I need more comments on that WhatsApp group. TETC, thank you very much. TETC is live. TETC is live. Now, if you know anybody that should be in this conference, please share the WhatsApp, the YouTube link, right? You can share the YouTube link. You can share the link to the Teams app. If you have that, we want as many people to be on this call as possible, because we have loads of important information that I want to pass to educators. We also have a massive lineup of speakers. These speakers are loaded, they are heavy, and they are here to download everything to us, right? Now, we want to ensure that you have a seamless and beautiful experience, right? And so today is day one. Welcome to day one. There are some few information that we'd just like to pass across to you, so that the flow of the conference will be quite interesting. Just a few ground information that you must have. The first thing is there are 2 days for this conference, right? And each of the days there are 2 sessions. There's a morning session and there's the afternoon session. The morning session starts by 9:30 and ends at 12:30 p.m. And then the afternoon session starts at 1 p.m. and ends at 4 p.m. I think so, yes. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. exactly, right? So I want you to relax, get your notepad, get every writing materials. If you are in a place where you can be distracted, it's okay to leave that place, or you can put on your earpiece. You don't want to miss any information that will be coming across today. All right. Now, the first thing I want you to know is that we allow chats, right? There is a chat icon. So if you want to send messages, right, just a few housekeeping. If you want to send in messages, there is a chat icon. If you're using your laptop, it's at the top, but if you're using your phone, probably somewhere at the bottom, right? Look for the chat icon. And then when you click on the chat icon, you will see a tab, a chat window on your right. That's if you're using a laptop. But if you're using your phone, it will pop up, definitely. So if you want to add comments and all that, you can do well to do that in the chat window, right? The next is the question and answer, right? Question and answer. If you have questions, you can do well to use the Q&A icon. Click on the Q&A icon, tap on it, and you can ask your questions, and you'll be assured that you will get quality responses for your questions, right? So do well to hit the Q&A icon if you want to ask any question, right? The next is polls, right? We have compiled a couple of questions in form of polls that we want to ask you. Now, these questions are important. It's important that you answer these questions because it will help us to, analyze and assess where you are in the knowledge of AI and how we can together help each other to empower every educator, every institution owner, and even if you're a student or just a tech enthusiast, right here, want to know how far you've gone in the AI world and how much we can go further. So these polls are important. So do well to, take these polls, answer these questions. They are just a few, probably 2 or 3 questions, and then they're not so much. So do well to do that. And then the last is we want to see reactions. We want to see reactions. So there is a reaction icon that you can, if you want to give a thumbs up, maybe a facilitator said something that is just profound and interesting and deep, you can just use your thumbs up, you can use your love emoji and all that, right? Now, welcome once again to the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference. If you are excited, I want to see your favorite emoji on the WhatsApp, not on the WhatsApp, on the chats, in the chat box. I want to see your favorite emoji. Just type in "I am excited." Your favorite emojis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to see that. Let it be blazing. Let it be blazing. If you are excited to be in the Tech Enabled Teachers Conference, I'm welcoming you here once again, and I assure you that the conference is packed and the conference will be worth your time. Now, for the sake of our time, I'm going to go straight to invite, the speaker of the day, the first speaker of the day. He's going to be taking us straight into the conversation of AI in education. I know that you do not want to miss this session. Whatever you do, do not miss this session. The man who is going to be speaking is a very, 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 very deep knowledge base, right? Even in the world of tech and AI. All right. In the next second, you're going to see a video that will introduce him. And after that video, he's going to come on board and speak. So, welcome. Please do well to welcome. Just keep clapping until you hear his voice. Just keep sending the emojis until you hear his voice. Until you hear his voice, just keep sending. A video is going to play now, but until you hear his voice, please keep sending those emojis. Just keep sending them on the chat room. Just keep sending those emojis on the chat room. Keep sending them, keep sending them, keep sending them. I can see them coming. I can see them coming. Yes, a video is going to play now, and after that video, the next voice you will hear would be his voice, right? So keep sending them, keep sending them. I want to see them coming in. If you are excited, do not forget to also send, right, messages on the WhatsApp group, right? Send in those messages on the WhatsApp group if you haven't done that, so that other people can come in and join the conference. We promise you that it's going to be an interesting and impactful time. An interesting and impactful time, right? I can see over 42 comments. Wow, interesting, interesting. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. The conference is designed to be empowering. It's designed to enhance your productivity. It's enhanced to give you better classroom, engagement.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? If you can hear me, I just wanted to make some, maybe raise your hands or leave some comments in the chat. It's a privilege for me to not only be convening this conference, but also to be the first person that would interface with us and set the pace for the conference. It promises to be a wonderful time, and I can guarantee you that what you will learn from here would be very impactful to your profession as a teacher, as a parent. There are several sections of this conference. We've structured it such that we can cater to parents, cater most especially to students, to teachers, and then to administrators. So I would start by first saying there are three segments to the sessions that we'll be having. There are what we call these teacher-led sessions, 6 of them, a deep dive hands-on session, 6 of them, and then 2 panel discussions. So I'm privileged to start the first deep dive and teacher-led session this morning, and I would walk you through my first presentation. Maybe I should put a groundwork. There won't be a lot of presentation, so to speak, because we all are learners, teachers are learners. So I will just do a few commentary on maybe 1 or 2 slides, and then we'll go straight into tools, and then we'll go straight into the hands-on tools. So this is going to be very practical, and I will go as slowly as I can. If you have questions, you can put the questions in the Q&A segment, and one of the officials will collate the questions, and feel free to ask your questions there. So I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes just giving us an overview of the first topic, embracing AI as your personal assistant. Now, I must say that, sorry, my notes. All right, so we're starting with embracing AI as your personal assistant. So for several years, there have been different tools that have come in, and every tool that have come in have been promising to do a lot for teachers. Teachers are belabored by so many things. We have a lot of responsibility. You have to plan curriculum, plan lesson notes, and then you deliver your teaching, and then you have assignment, notes to take, and notes to mark. So we have a lot of things to do with very limited time. So for once, I've been in education for over 15 years. This, I can say, is one tool that I can really say it takes very limited energy to learn, but also scales up your productivity by almost 50%, if not more. In fact, you will spend less than 80%, you spend up to just 20% of your time on routines, as you would have spent more than 80%. This time you spend probably just 20%, and then you'll be able to have enough time to focus on your students and to be able to provide personalized learning. So AI gives us that opportunity, and that is the reason why we would delve into it. I will not bother us with too many definitions. We can always read all of these online, but the PowerPoint and everything will be available for every one of us to have access to. So you can see the definition of artificial intelligence, large language models, and generative AI. So these 3 words are things that have been thrown out there, and a lot of us have been familiar with them. But we're going to focus on not the technology, but how to leverage that technology to work for us and to enhance our productivity. So the true power of AI in education lies in the collaborative partnership between teachers and AI systems. The key is to let AI handle the tasks it can do most effectively. AI has the capability to do some tasks very effectively while allowing teachers to leverage their unique strengths. So we're looking at AI not replacing teachers, because AI technology in the first place can never replace teacher. Learning is more than just information delivery. Learning is social, and that's why the school system has a lot of things that makes up for learning: PE, activities, social skills. So technology, however good they are, they cannot provide what teachers can provide. So for instance, teachers have invaluable knowledge and insights about their individual students' strengths. Computers and AI don't know that. Their learning styles, strengths, challenges, and needs. AI, on the other hand, has access to vast amount of educational resource. There is no one single person on earth that has as much knowledge and access to data as much as AI. And that's why by combining the deep understanding of by combining a teacher's deep understanding of their teachers, of their students, with the expansive knowledge of AI, processing capabilities of AI, it becomes possible to create very highly personalized, tailored teaching materials and being able to focus on the student. The most effective use of AI in education, therefore, is not to replace the teachers, but to empower them. When teachers and AI system work together, they can unlock new level of personalized efficiency and effectiveness in classroom. So we'll be looking at some of the AI tools or some of the benefits of leveraging on AI. It offers personalized learning. A lot of us, we have students of different levels of understanding, different reading styles, different level of understanding, and different learning abilities. AI provides you the opportunity and the tool to be able to, you're teaching one curriculum or one content, but you are able to differentiate it among as many students as you have in your classes. And you are able to provide them with different content that is tailored for their needs, whereas you are not undermining the curriculum as a whole. You are still being able to deliver your curriculum, but you are able to provide for the needs of others. You are not slowing down those that are fast so that you can accommodate those that are slow. Neither are you trying to make those that are slow learner as fast as those that are fast learner. It also extends the availability. Students can access AI-powered tool and help 24/7. Everything we'll talk about today, we'll practicalize it and I'll walk you through a lot of tools that can help you. You can also provide students with feedback. You can enhance classroom discussions. You can use AI to enhance classroom discussion. So most of these tools that we will be looking at today are going to be tools that we will practicalize as we go forward. So without saying too much, because like I said, we'll have access to these slides and we can also go and research all of these things online. Sorry, this is not, okay, so this is this. All right, so we did a poll in the WhatsApp chat and we tried to sample some of the AI tools that people have used. And we put out some very generic and general AI tool out there. And a lot of people have actually used some of the very general purpose AI tools. So this morning, I'm going to start with some AI tools that are school specific. This amongst many others. On the chat group, we also posted a link to a segment of the web page of the conference where we have a list of a lot of AI tools and some summaries so that you know what you need to, you can quickly access those tools and select the ones you want. So, but this morning we'll go through, and during this conference, we'll go through almost about 10 of those tools, different speakers, but I will be doing more of the deep dive. So we'll be looking at Brick Stitching, Defeat, School AI, Mizu AI, Magic School AI, Flint AI. Please bear in mind that these are school specific. They are focused more on educators with a lot of tools that are already predefined for you to be able to have access to. In the coming days, we'll do just like the explainer video that we did to guide you on how to sign into Teams. We'll be doing those for all of these applications. We were unable to get them ready before the conference started. So I'll start with Brisk in this first session of leveraging AI tools, leveraging AI as a teaching assistant. We look at Brisk and Defeat. And then the next session, we'll look at School AI and Magic AI, and subsequently we go like that. So without further ado, I'm just going to switch over to my browser. Again, if you have any questions, you can pass those questions to those that are moderating the questions. All right, so my first session on deep dive will be boosting AI tools, productivity boosting AI tools for teachers, part 1. Again, I will send this PowerPoint to us, and then we can always have access to them as we progress. But I won't want to waste too much time on that. So let me just get to my browser, and then we can start. Sorry, I need to switch to my browser. All right. So can you all see my screen? So okay. Now, Brisk Learning, the website is there. You're going to find it in the spreadsheet. It's called briskteaching.com. So I will go to the website. I already bookmark it. So I'll walk you through how you sign up, and we'll take it step by step, because like I said, we're doing a deep dive. All right, so you go to their website, and then you click on you're joining for free. So you click on most of these tools, you just require your email address. All the tools that we are providing that we are going to leverage on in this conference are all free tools. Even as I am having used them a lot, I am still using the free version. They are enough to do 90% of what you want to do. So you don't have to bother about getting the paid version, except if you want to elevate some things. But again, for whatever you want to do at this level, it is still good for you. So most importantly, I think a lot of them work the most with Google email. So ensure to have a Gmail, because this works with the browser. So you just click on add it free to your Chrome browser, and then you click on add to Chrome. You will click on add extension. Then it's going to pop up and ask you for agree, and then sign in with Google. Remember, this is a Chrome browser extension, and it requires an email. So I'm going to sign in with my Google account. Because my Google account is signing into my browser, you can pick that Tech Enabled Teachers Community. So I click on that, and I click on continue. Once that is done, you can put the name of your school. I'm just going to Tech Enabled school state. Just fill in all the necessary information. You're not in the US, so you're going to use outside the US. Subject, you can select all the subject that you're teaching, and others if you want. Then grade level, you can select all the grade levels if you want, as many grade level as you're teaching. How do you hear about Briggs? You can choose conference if this is the first time you're hearing about that. Then you click on next, and then you're ready to go. So it tells you if you invite 5 people, you get premium account for 30 days. I don't want to invite people for now, so I'm going to skip, and then boom, you're ready to go. So you have a lot of resource materials. Most of them are very good to provide you resource materials. Now, when you go into Bricks, you begin to see all the tools that are available for you. Most of us say we've used ChatGPT. We'll get to ChatGPT for one of the things that it is good for. But for some of the tools we are looking at today, there are tools that are tailored for teachers. For example, you see AI presentation maker. You want to make presentation, you have something to start with. Quiz maker, we'll do a few demonstration on some of these things. AI lesson plan generator, depth of knowledge, rubrics generator, presentation marker, teacher exemplar, you want to make example for your student, quiz maker, teacher's resource maker, you want to make resources, something else, we'll get to that, progress report maker, AI syllabus generator, state practice test. This is tailored for the US. Then universal design for learning, lesson plan to accommodate all learners' needs. So you see, by just getting into these tools, most of the work you need to do are already cut out. You don't need to, like ChatGPT, provide too much of the information. This already pull the resources and put them in different categories for you. You want to quickly write an email, newsletter for your class, letter of recommendation, observation notes. There are lots and lots and lots of stuff that you can do that are already categorized. And most of these tools, they leverage on the same technology, and they do almost the same thing with some just unique features as we'll be going down. So the first thing I want to try out for us to just see is let's look at a lesson plan generator. I'll just open it. Now, if you add, it is best when you add it to your Chrome. And I want you to also do one thing. You see, it's giving us a guide. You click on your extension, you will see bricks, and then you pin it. So when you pin it, it appears here, and immediately it appears on every page that you open. Bricks icon will appear there, and you can always close it and on it, close it and on it. Now, Brisk works immediately. You start to generate any content. So long as you have Google, it will open the document for you on your Google Drive. So it works with Google Drive. So for example, all I need to do if I'm going to just try out, guide us through some very basic things for us to be able to leverage on this tool. So let's say I want to create if you have a link, a YouTube video, a PDF, a Word document, any resource material you have, you can brisk it. They call it brisk it. You can brisk it means you can use bricks to do a lot of things with it. So for example, let's say if you click on, you see it's on Google Docs, so it sees that I am on Google Doc. If I go to YouTube and I open any channel on YouTube, let's see a channel on, I'm just going to do allow. Let me do mitosis, for example, just a random lesson. I'm clicking on this. I will not play it yet. When I brisk it, you see it shows me that I am on a YouTube channel. As long as your YouTube channel has is transcribed, you can also create lesson plan. Everything that we have seen at the front part of the screen when we first log in, you can do that with YouTube with links. Let me look for an article. Let me just go to National Geographic, for example, and we'll look at. So it works with articles, whether it is a whole page of article or a part of the article. If I click on Brisk, it will also show up for me. The site is still loading. So if I click on Bricks, it shows me that I am on a web page. You can see. So I can select some text. It tells me selected text. I can decide I don't want to select. I want to do the entire page. The same thing if you have a PDF. You can see I can click on the icon here and say I want to attach a file. So if you have a PDF or Word document, you can also pull it. So it works with all of your resources. So let's start with the web link. I can click on create. It tells me what do I want to create. If I say I want to create a quiz from this website, it will generate the quiz for me. I can create a rubrics. I can create a lesson plan from this website. I can create a syllabus. So every resource platform you have, whether it's a website, a YouTube channel, a PDF, a Word document, you can bring it into this AI tool and then give it instruction on what you want it to do. So I can say, okay, I want to create a lesson plan. I click on this, then it gives me, what do I want to create a plan for? I can say lesson plan. Oh yeah, so I'm choosing, what is it again? Lesson plan. I can give it an instruction. So AI works based on specific instruction. It is called prompt engineering. You need to give it a prompt. It's generative AI. It uses your instruction to generate content. So I can say I can just I can say I am a grade 6 teacher, grade 6 science teacher. Create a lesson plan from this web page. Again, you can also change the reading level. This is where personalization and differentiation comes from, where you have students that are performing at a grade 3 reading level. You are given the same group of students the same work, but now you are able to differentiate the same content for them based on their level of comprehension or how they are able to read. Because some of us have students in our classes, one is reading at a higher level, one is reading at a lower level. So this gives you the opportunity. So I want to make it a fifth grade standard, 50 minutes or 40-minute lesson plan. And I just tell it, I can change the language. I don't think it has any Nigerian language, but you can also change language. So I'm just going to brisk it. It will automatically pull this resource into a Google Doc and perform its magic for you. You see that it's generating it. And it's well articulated, well formatted. You don't need to do any formatting. In ChatGPT, you need to copy and paste into document and format. This one already formats it for you completely without you doing anything. So you can go in and edit. Bear in mind, this is AI. AI doesn't know your student. You know your student. You know, you have your lesson objective, your lesson plan, your lesson outcomes. In designing, in using bricks, you can also bring your lesson outcome and put it as additional information. So I want to create a lesson plan on social studies for on mitosis or Nigerian civil war for grade 6 students. These are my learning objectives. These are my learning outcomes. And it will look at that and build content around those specific instructions. So the more specific you are, the better it is performing. So, for example, I'm not satisfied with this. I can translate into English, or I can decide I want to make it longer or make it shorter. If I click on make it shorter, it will start working on it again and make it shorter. You see, it starts in another line so that it keeps the previous ones you have and is now working on a new one for you. I can say, okay, I want to give you more details. I want it to be more detailed. It will provide it. All of that in the same lesson, in the same document. You're able to do all of those things and give it those instructions. Um, let's see something else. Assessment. So if I want to create a worksheet from this, I want to create a quiz from this same lesson plan. So I've created a lesson plan. I can create a lesson note from it if I want. I want to create a worksheet or a quiz. I can click on create a quiz and say, okay, this quiz is multi-choice. I want it to be 5 questions. Create a quiz from this lesson plan. It's still fifth grader. And then I'm going to click on next. It's going to create this list. So it's asking me, do I want the quiz to be on Google Doc or on Google Form? Again, like I said, this is more compatible with Gmail. And once you have a Gmail account, you have access to Google Form and Google Docs. So I'm going to use Google Docs so that I can put it here. But okay, let's try Google Form. If you click on Google Form and you click Brexit, it's going to format it in a Google Form for you. So it's asking for permission. I'll give it permission. I'll click on continue and continue. And immediately it's going to format your test question inside of a Google Form for you. We're focusing more on tools to aid teachers, so that you can see it's creating that question and answer for me, and I can already have my quiz. If I wanted it to put it in a Word document, I can also come here and still do the same thing. Quiz, let's see, putting it in Word document, same question, I'll do 5 questions. I'll say create a quiz. Create a quiz, I click on next. So I'll use Word document and I'll bricks it. So it will put that in this same Word document. See, the quiz is there. So that is one way that you can leverage this. Now, if you want to make it more difficult, less difficult, again, differentiation. Same material, different levels of students in your class. So I want to make this quiz more difficult because I have some high performing students. I want to challenge them the more. I can click on more difficult. It will generate these same 5 quizzes more difficult. You want to make it less difficult, less difficult. In fact, you can write a prompt and say, for every of your lesson plan, you can say, create 3 versions. You can say for beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You can use warm, cold, and hot. You can use level 1, level 2, level 3, and it will replicate those 3 for you. So let's give it a trial. I can say, create, I have 3 level of 3 categories reading class. Create specific class. Create lesson plan one. Create. Let's use quizzes. This quiz. These 3 groups. Using this level 1, 2, 3. So let's see. So I'm asking it to you to create 3 sets of quiz for different levels. See, reading level 1, this, reading level 2, this, reading level 3, this. So that way, and again, you can just imagine and keep learning how to use this. The more you are able to understand prompting, how to prompt properly, the better you are able to get the best out of generative AI. So this is about creating content from a website. Like I said, you can also do from Google, from YouTube. You can say, I want to create a rubrics from this. I want to create a rubric from this YouTube. So I click on it. And I say, for grade 4 scale point, or is this 8 scale point rubric or 5 scale? Let's just do 3 scale point rubric. If I have criterias, I can put the criteria. Otherwise, I'll just brisk it. And from that, YouTube is going to create rubrics based on the content of that YouTube channel. So you can begin to see how you can leverage this for your classes. You give students YouTube channels to watch, and then you are able to create rubrics based on them. And it will put the rubrics well formatted, and you are good to go. So a lot of those opportunities are there for you to do more with this. I'm just going to cover one more thing. So we've talked about forms. Okay, let's talk about presentation. So now, this same YouTube channel, I want to create a PowerPoint presentation directly from this YouTube content. I click on presentation, create a presentation from this. This is a let's say fourth grade level. And then I want to add image with or without image. If you see star, that means it's premium feature. You have to pay for it. So I'm going to use without image. Then you have different templates. So I'm going to use this fanciful template, and I'm just going to brisk it. You will have taken 30 to 40 minutes to create a PowerPoint presentation, but telling this tool what you want, how you want it, you are the one providing the context, the context, and he's helping you generate what needs to be generated. Is it okay? It's submitting. So immediately it's going to just create a PowerPoint presentation, and you'll be good to go. So again, like I said, keep practicing. We'll be announcing many more things that we'll be doing in the coming days. But this, see, what is mitosis? It's going to, and it's pulling directly from that YouTube. So you already have a PowerPoint presentation without stress, without having to rack your head. You must bear in mind that in using AI, let AI do the work, but you be the brain and the mind in terms of delivering it to your students. So a lesson plan and a preparation that would have taken you 3 hours, you are doing it in 15 minutes. That means you have another time for yourself and then to now be able to focus on the actual teaching, building relationships with your students, and being able to properly support them the way they should be supported, because most of the administrative work has been moved away from you. As we proceed again, one more thing I would like to say is, even if you don't know how to do prompting, you can just go to ChatGPT. Some of us are already using ChatGPT. Let me give you an example of how you can use ChatGPT to create your prompt if you don't have an idea of how to create a prompt. So I'm just going to put my ChatGPT here. I think in preparing for this lecture, I opened a grade. I don't think I have it again. I opened okay. Okay, I don't have it again. I opened a curriculum and I wanted to just play around with it. So you can just tell it, we're going to talk about prompting in the next session. You know, one of our speakers will be talking about prompt engineering. And our first webinar series starting August will be about prompt engineering. We'll be announcing that as we progress. But for this one, you can say, you can tell ChatGPT, you can tell it, assume the role of a sixth grade science teacher. Write a prompt that will create a lesson plan with the following, you can list with objective, lesson plan with objectives, learning outcome, and class activities for a lesson on mitosis, for example. So you don't know how to write your plan. So it's going to say, oh, I didn't tell it to put a prompt. Sorry. Okay. Assume the role of a sixth grader. I write a prompt that will create a lesson plan. Okay, so now, let me rewrite. Let me bring up an example of the one that don't know why it's not. Write a prompt that will create a lesson plan. Okay, so this is like a prompt, so you can copy this and then paste it into Brisk, and it will generate your lesson plan for you. So you can always leverage ChatGPT and all other tools to create prompts for you to use if you are not very versatile, or you don't know how to prompt or how to instruct the AI on what to do. Now, so another thing you can do with this is, I can go to, again, let me go to Chat GPT. I can say, I want to show you how you can use this tool also to provide feedback. So let's say I want to create an article that have errors. Let's say a student wrote an assignment and there are errors. So I want to tell ChatGPT to just write a statement that consists of errors. Write a short article on mitosis, but lots of grammatical. So I'm asking you to write a short article on mitosis and make lots of grammatical errors. So this is too long. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. So let's say I go into Brisket, I'm going to open another document. So I'm opening a fresh Google document. Let's say this is the student submission, right? So I'm going to go to Brisket. You can see that this guy already picked up errors. Yes, that's the normal one here, but I want to use Brisket. I can say provide feedback. So I want you to provide targeted feedback. If you want you to provide targeted feedback, that will be premium premium feature. That's when it can provide you targeted feedback. So I'm going to see, you can do grow and glow. It will tell the student areas that the student needs to improve on. You can generate a rubrics for that student to improve on. You can look at suggestion for next step and strategy to build core skills. So you can do all of that in providing feedback to the student. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do targeted is premium. Okay, let's do glow and so grow and glow, and I'm going to write the feedback. So it's providing feedback for that student, and I can take that feedback and provide it to the student. Now, once you finish writing it, you can tell it, let's say this is a student work. This is a student work, then you can, once you've done, you can insert it, and then it will insert this into the student's work as some form of feedback on, you see, watch out for spelling errors such as processes, involves. So it looked into the article, picked up all the errors, and is providing specific feedbacks. If we had the full feature and we went to the targeted feedback, it's going to, let's see if this will work. All right, so it's working. Let's see. I think I have the premium one. It's looking at targets now. It's highlighting every place that the student made the error and providing feedback. Again, you will still need to look and see if it is correct. The final decision is still yours, because until you click on comment, it doesn't commit to the student work. So it gives you all the feedback, and it picks up all the error in the student work, first of all. And then at the end of the day, I can now say, okay, I'm satisfied with all your assessment. And then I'll click comment, and that's when it commits it to the student work. So in the end, it does most of the job. You provide the brain and the human knowledge of your student that you have, and then you are quickly able to move forward with that. Now, we're about to go into the next session, but I would also want to demo one more app in this first session before we get into the next session, which is going to be handled by Yano. When you sign up for BRICS, you will be able to, there are a lot of resources, access to resources, videos on YouTube that can guide you. But like I said, we'll be starting a webinar series starting up from August, and it's still accessible by, it's free to just continue from where we stopped at the conference. Now, the next one is called Defeat. Everything I've shown you on Brisk can also be done in Defeat. But the advantage of Defeat is that this is mainly about generating resources, worksheets. If you are in school or you're working in a school that have access to printing, this might be a good tool for you. Briskit allows you as a teacher, if your student have access to devices, have access to internet, then you can use Briskit. Otherwise, you can use it for yourself to ease your work, and then you can find different ways to teach your students using those materials if your student don't have access to internet or access to devices. And again, most of these apps have mobile apps. So even if you don't have a laptop, ChatGPT and most of the apps that we're going to be showing to you, They all have mobile app. They are device agnostic. They can work on every kind of devices. So for DFID, let me see, you go to dfid.com and then you sign in. Again, it's free. You sign in with your Google account. I will do a few steps. Everything you did in Brisk, you can do here. Like I said, most of the apps, they leverage on the same need and then provide some unique features. So if you are able to use one, you can use the other one. So I'm just going to log in. It's as simple as this. This is how simple it is to sign up. Now, okay, so I have a free trial. Okay, I have a premium trial until September. That's nice. So like I said, articles and video, you get a link, video, YouTube, everything you did with Brisk, you are also able to do here. Any text or excerpt, so you can copy, maybe you saw an article online, you copy it, you paste it, then you can generate. See, this one talks about generating resources. So I will go to online. Let's just look for an article online on mitosis. We're just going to look for an article online on mitosis and see what we can pick from there. So I can, again, copy this entire link and go into DFID if I want to use link, and I say this. So I can now tell it, do I want to keep the original text, or I want to differentiate? So I know that this website, the reading level is high. I am a 6th grade teacher. Do I want to break it down to my 6th grade level? It will provide them with the same context, but different forms of English, so that they are able to comprehend it. Again, you can change the languages. I think one of them already have Hausa. Not this one. I think there's another one. So you can either keep it as original or you differentiate it. So I want to say generate resources. It's just going to look into that website and generate different kind of worksheets, questions, answers, resources. This same thing you can do for YouTube channel. You can do for a part of a website or all of the website. You see, it has broken it down to 6th grade. I can come here and say, no, this is still too high for a 6th grader. Can you break the English down to 5th grade so I can further differentiate? You put the image and you can see all the content, all the worksheet is beginning to create. Though this is a science subject, but you see, it can show you all the sources. So you can see the source. I can hide sources. You can adjust the length if you want, medium, long, short, if you want. You can, so this is a summary. It provides you with a summary. It provides you with the original context, the original content, provides you with a summary, provides you with key vocabulary. So even as a reading literacy teacher, you can use any article to boost the vocabularies of your students. You don't have to depend just on textbooks. You can get them to improve their writing on any resource that you have. So it picked very key vocabulary for you. You can add more vocabularies. Again, AI presents this to you. You can always adapt it and adopt it to suit your use. Immediately provides you with multi-choice question, short answer question, open-ended questions. So once you've edited this as much as you want, you can now say get student activities. You can see here some of the activities that's created. You can export, you can print, you can export to Google Form, you can export to Google Doc. So I'm going to click on get student activities, and then it's just going to do some of its magic. So you have all of these activities: summarize learning activities, vocabulary learning activities, reading strategies, writing strategies, text analysis, collaboration, critical thinking. So you can pick any of these resources. The AI generated it for you. A lot of time we spend hours trying to find activities and then trying to create documents for those activities. That is completely taken away. So you see discussion workbooks, group discussion slides. Again, you can create a Google form, print. So let's say I select discussion workbook. I select this one. This is the one I want. I select it. It gives me, I am able to, it's presenting it. I am able to put it into PowerPoint. I can export it into PDF, can digitally print it. So I'm going to put it into PowerPoint. You can still customize it if you want. It allows you to do all your customization. Once you can add sections, you see, you can delete some sections. If you don't want those sections, you can delete those sections. And then you can do all of this explaining. I'm going to spend another, I think, EDK, when is my session ending? Hello, EDK. All right, so
yeah, I think it's 11:45.
Okay, so
11 actually.
You're sure
11.
It's 11? It's 9:30, yeah, 11. So I have 30 minutes, that's fine. So you can move them, you can take them away, you can add whatever you want. Once you're done with all your changes, you can edit everything. You can export out, then it's going to generate the activity again. So it's opening up. I want to make it, it's generating it. I want to make it a PowerPoint presentation. So, okay, so you see, if you have Google Classroom also, you can share it to your Google Classroom. You can open it in Google Slide. You can download it as a PDF. You can download it as a PowerPoint. So I'm going to open it as Google Slide, which is Google's version of PowerPoint. And then it puts that all well formatted for me in my PowerPoint presentation, and my students can use it. So this is what you can do with DFIT. DFIT enables you generate lots and lots of resources, especially worksheets. And then when you go to my resources, you'll be able to see a list of all your resources. You can always edit them as you see fit and move on to something else. So that's just a brief walkthrough on DFIT. Now I'm going to also go to School AI just to show us some of these things. But when we go into the next session where I talk about flipped learning, flipped classroom, then we'll leverage on flipped classroom, and then parents supporting students at home. We'll leverage on School AI and Magic School to explore how you can use AI to flip your classroom. And then parents can also support students on those same tools while at home. Again, you just need a device. A phone will also do as we go into that. So I'm going to look, School AI is schoolai.com if you've not had it. Again, it's free for teachers. You just need to provide some information. So I'm going to sign in. I don't have an account, so I'll just immediately, it will bring you to where you can create an account. Continue to School AI. I'm using my Google account. It's asking me to enable me to go in, and then I click on continue. So that's how simple it is to sign up for School AI. So I work at a school called Raffles. So if your school is there, if you have teachers in your school that are using it, it normally will save the name of the school. But if there isn't, so I'm just going to, okay, I'm just going to use Tech Mobile. All right, so I didn't see my school. So if I didn't see my school, it will add that. I'm a teacher, for example. How do you learn about School AI, social media? Just feel that I have read this, and then I click on done. Oh, sorry, I have to check this one. Tech enable teachers. All right. So I'm done. I don't want to do all of that. Skip. Now, so we'll use another session to talk about some of the features of School AI. But in this session, we're looking at productivity boosting apps as you leverage AI as your personal assistant. So let's look at tools. This tools also, like I said, most of them, they do the same thing. So lesson plan, multiple choice question, rubrics, worksheets, build your own jokes. If you want to create jokes, you want to have something to do icebreaker in your classrooms, it's there. Text leveler. So you get a text and there are different level of reading in your classroom. You can use that to differentiate. IEP goals, IEP, class newsletter, BIP, behavior intervention plan. So for those of us that are in other ways, syllables, letter of recommendation. So you see a lot of those tools are there. Again, I'm just going to take one lesson plan. If you are using most of these tools, you can compare two. You can leverage on multiple tools and then pull them together. One of the tools that we'll be talking about in our next session, after your next session, will be an AI tool that you can use to pull so many resources together and consolidate them into one resource for your class. We'll be looking at that too. So again, grade 4, let's say, okay, water cycle. So this, now this is where this is a topic you already, these are all concept of prompting. You're asking it to take a role, you're giving it a topic, and you're providing more detail. Yano will talk more about prompting in his next session. So this is where you can dump your lesson outcome, lesson objective, and pull all of that. Standard, this is still for the US, and for some of us that are in international schools, we can have some contents, some standards there. And then you can just, if you have an attachment, if you have a file, maybe even your lesson note, you've prepared your lesson note as a teacher, you can upload your lesson note and create a lesson plan or create a work activity or create a lesson homework directly from whatever it is that you submit. So you click on generate and it's going to generate that. Let's wait for it to generate. All right, so it does the same thing. Like I said, it's the beauty of school AI is also you can share it with colleagues. So we want to collaborate. You can share your work with your colleague, and your colleague will see some of the things you've done. This is where you can refine your prompt. If you don't like what you see, you can go and change your prompt and regenerate. It would regenerate for you. Now, so let's say I'm satisfied with that. There are some cool items here. So at every section, you can clear formatting, duplicate, delete. If you click on plus in every section, I can use an AI writer to write more. I can say provide more context. And I say provide more context. You see, I want to change the tone. Is it humorous, emotional, conversational, academic, casual? Let's look for humorous. I take humorous and I say to generate. So short thing, context is like reasoning in a good stew with it. So you can play around with it, whatever is good for your students. You can keep it or discard it. So I'm going to discard it. Another thing you can do with this one is when you click on plus. So I'm working on water cycle and I'm creating a lesson plan. I want to generate an image to reflect the lesson. So I'll put it here. I'll just say image, AI image, water cycle image. And it's going to generate image style. Do you have photorealistic comic book? So let's do comic book. Give it 10 to 15 seconds. It generates an image and puts it there for you. So you can play around with all of this. So you can see that you can generate table, you can generate image, you can import image, you can do columns and horizontal row. All of those features, you can insert tables in your document. So let's wait for it to generate. Now it's finished generating. Lovely picture. I can discard it or keep it, and I can, this is my preview, so I can insert. Once I insert, I can shrink it or make it bigger. Once I'm satisfied with what I need to do, I can export. Do you want PDF or Google Docs? Like I said, a lot of times, I've repeated it now, most of them work well with Google Doc. So I want to export into Google Doc. You just ask for permission and then I export. So that's that. There are also tools here. You can custom prompt, simplify, fix spelling and grammar, make shorter, make longer, translate. Let's see. I saw one with Hausa recently. Translate. Now, I go back to my Launchpad. So if I go back to my tools again, my lesson plan document is here. So every time you use any of these spaces or any of these tools to generate anything, it will keep the count beside it and you can always have access to it. At the bottom of it also, you will see a list of all your recently opened documents. So that is why we encourage teachers to use this tool rather than use ChatGPT, because it's more tailored and more specific, teacher focused for teachers. I have 20 minutes more and I want to use 10 minutes for questions. So let's move to the next one, Magic School. When we come back in the afternoon session, the first session during the afternoon, where I will talk about was a flipped classroom. That's where we look at spaces and then assistant. All right, so let's go to Magic School. Magic School is still the same thing. Sign up for free. It's free for teachers. Again, what you need it for at this level, the free version we provide them for you. You don't really need to spend money on that. So Magic School, almost the same thing like School AI, but it has its own additional features. So I picked I'm going to say educator, grade level 4 to 6. It doesn't really matter. You can add everything. You can add all elementary subjects. I'm just going to pick randomly school, district, United States. Okay, let's choose Nigeria. City. So I created a profile. Let's get started. I don't want to go through this. All right. Come on. Where is the X button? Oh, I don't want to go through this. Let me refresh my page. Opt out. All right. So this is also very rich in terms of specific tailor-made tools for you. In fact, this is much more. You have much more teacher observation, jokes, goal and progress tracker, song generator. You want to generate song, you can generate song from this. AI resistant assignment. So you can play around with this at your leisure. One of the cool tools, they partner with Adobe to use the AI generation app. So you can generate image, you can store here and share with your student. One good thing about Magic School AI also is that they have Magic School for students. So it's either you have a license as a teacher and then you can onboard your student, or as a school, you can buy licenses and you can give student accesses to use these tools as if your school desires to allow students to use AI. So I like Magic School because it also categorizes all of the tools so that you don't have to scroll through too many tools. You want to write professional emails, you want to write email responder, email to family. So here is planning, every resource around planning, science lab, multi-step assignment, group work generator, lesson plan. All of these two, there's one thing that is an underlining factor to getting the best out of them, and that is prompting, knowing how to tell it what to do. That's why the next session is really very important. So there's content. You want to develop content. Everything around content is here. Questions. Everything around question is here. Intellectual prep. Student support. Communication. Sometimes report card comment can be a big trouble for us. especially teachers that teach multiple classes, writing comments for 60, 50, 100 students. This can help you. It's advisable because of data privacy not to put real student's name. You can use John Doe, you can use student 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and not necessarily use people's name. Most of these companies tells you they don't use your data to train their AI. A lot of them can be believed, but if you are using the free version, you also don't have a say on what they do with your data. So it is guaranteed that they say that they don't use your data for other things, for training of their AI. So custom tools, even SAT reading question custom, you can SAT reading question custom. So there's no point going through each one of them. I've introduced the platform to us. We can always go and practice and learn what we need to learn, take what we need to take, and use them as we would like to use them. So team builder, icebreaker, all of these things are resources. Survey creator, thank you note, email to families. So these tools curate things that are based on teachers' needs to help you work faster and more efficient, so that you can spend more time on students and being able to support them where they need the most support. Some instances could be, it frees you to be able to group students based on their level of learning, and you're able to also provide materials for those specific groups. And then you walk around in groups, talking with them and helping them do their work. For some schools, for teachers where the schools doesn't have devices, no access to internet and all of that, you can use this tool to help your work. Because I know some of us, we still write lesson notes, some of us still types it. So this already gives you access to resources that can enable you do all that you need to do. So I'm going to wrap it up here. We've gone through, let me pull up my slide again. We've gone through Brisk, we've gone through School AI, Defeat, Magic School AI. We have 3 people that will talk on Flint, so I won't touch on that. Mizu AI also does the same thing as Magic School and School AI, but they are focused more. Mizu AI and Flint AI are focused more on tutors, AI as a tutor. We'll look into that in the next session where we talk about flipped classroom. So I'm going to leave space now for questions. If you can unmute everybody, enable everybody's microphone. Please, if you want to ask questions, first you raise your hands, and then the person moderating will probably call your name so that we can proceed with being very orderly in getting all the questions answered. Any question? Okay, I can see.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I am actually asking this question on behalf of someone. She's also here. Um, she said, I'm a reporter for Oxford University Press, and I usually write on decisions made by the African Court on Humans and People's Rights. It is always about decisions which have never been commented before, and it's very hard for me to find resources. So I would really need tips, at least on how to get first inputs to develop my research.
Okay, so
This is from Scale.
all right,
Yeah.
let me just mention, most of these AI tools are trained with data. Can you mute if you are done talking? Are trained with data to a certain age. Most times, I think if you can mute yourself if you are not talking, please. So if there are no resources, if there are new, there's a feedback. Can we all mute, please, if you are not talking? just mute. All right. Ifeanyi, can you mute everybody? Because some people unmute themselves and they are not muting back. So AIs are all trained with data sets that are available. So for example, most of the AI were trained up until 2022 October, some of them 2023 October. So any information outside, beyond or after 2023 October, those AI don't have access to it. In fact, you can ask ChatGPT, when was the last time, what date was his last resource? And it will be able to tell you if he was trained to a certain age, a certain date. So if they are an ongoing decision, unfortunately, you will not be able to find resources. But if there are decisions that have been made in the past and those decisions are online, then you can say yes, you'll be able to find those resources. I saw a question in the chat. Let me just respond to that. It said, what is AI resistant assignment? Now, as educators, you must come with the mindset that all your students are using AI. You must, if you don't have that mindset, you are deceiving yourself. You must, that is the level that we must start from now, that all my students are using AI, especially if you're teaching in a school where they have resources both in school or at home, and you give them homework. We must come to that to terms with the fact that this is a technology that is there. If I'm not using it, my students are using it. So now there's a debate in the education in the education field about what is now, how do we assess students in the world where a student can just go and ask ChatGPT and ChatGPT gives him everything. So that is where AI resistant assignment comes in place. Assignment that you put in place that it's not easy for AI it's not easy for students to leverage AI's help for those assignments. Example, class assignments where students are supposed to just come in and write physical test or physical assignment. There's no way they can use AI. Some open-ended questions. And so if you look into that text, I think, where did we find that? So basically, AI resistant assignment just talks about assignment that AI will not be able to. It provides you ways to carry out your assignment so that students can use AI. And even if they do, you'll be able to find out. That's what AI assignments, AI resistant assignments means. There's a question here. Please, which of these apps would you recommend to use and engage our early year students who have a smart board edutech? Now, so the song generator will be good. Again, the essence of this first conference is first to focus on educators, to give you the tool to help you. And then maybe subsequent webinars, we can look at how you can use it to help your students. But ways that you can use this on Smartboard app could be maybe image generator. You can get them to generate images. You can there are other tools actually apart from these ones that are tailored for little kids. So I think for a very younger one, mostly it's about you being able to prepare stuffs for yourself and being able to use them in your class and help your students. For the area of where it affects students, where you can really use it for students, I think the sessions that we'll be having will talk about, I think it's also advanced student or older students, as we'll be showing examples. But you can also create activities for younger kids that they can do using any of those tools that we have shown. Which AI tool will you recommend for tabling? So most of them also allows you put tables. If you have the data, I will talk about ChatGPT and the other ones, especially for high level tabling and data analysis. Those ones you can leverage on those ones. So you can use ChatGPT, you can use Perplexity, Claude AI. We'll look into those some of those in the next session. Any other question? I see. How can AI be used to conduct tests or exam for students and it will be graded by AI? So there are a lot of assistants. When we talk about flipped classroom, that's where we're going. This first session is about tools to help teachers. Now, we'll be looking at chatbots, we'll be looking at tutors, we'll be looking at AI assistants on all of these platforms. And that is where you'll be able to see AI grade students. AI provides them, you can provide the AI what you want it to do, give these students this answer, these questions, and assess their answer, assess their response, and you'll be able to see the performance. You also will be able to put in the rubrics that will allow the AI grade those students. Those tools we'll be looking at still in Magic School, in School AI, and in Flint. You'll see all of those tools there as we progress in the next session. Okay, question and answer section says there are questions. Let's see. Let me open the question and answer sections. Please, what best AI web tool can be used in thesis writing? So you can use Perplexity because it provides you with sources. We'll look at that in the session after Yano. I think that's the last session. That's 11:45 to 12:30 session. I'll be looking into those tools, especially for university students and even lecturers. We'll be looking at those tools. So Perplexity is one because it provides you with your sources and you can verify those sources. There's a challenge with AI because it's evolving. There's what is called hallucination in AI space because it just makes up answers. So Perplexity is very good because you are able to verify the sources of the information. We'll also be looking at Notebook LM, which also helps with that. So you can use Perplexity, you can use Claude, you can use Notebook LM. Some of them, you can use the free tools, but if you want some advanced feature, you might need to pay for the premium version. Can we have recorded version of this session? Yes, it's streaming live on YouTube, so it's going to be there. And after the recordings are ready, the webinar will send you a link where you can watch the videos. But what we are also going to do is to break it down into sessions and provide so that you don't have to watch 3 hours long video. We are going to break it into sessions so that will allow you focus on different sessions. How can AI be used in a primary school that has the facility? Do you mean has no facility or has facility? So let's start with has facility. If you have facility and students have laptops, they have access to the internet, then schools like yours can do the Magic Student, which provides access to all of these tools for students to work. But before doing that, you have to set up some basic policies. We'll be discussing that during the panel discussion on K to 12, setting policies to guide and determine what is cheating, what is assessment, how should assessment be carried out, especially when you are opening up your student to use AI. Again, you cannot, because these tools are going to be there. The industry that the students are going into are going to be using it. So why deprive them the tool that they will use in the industry? Why not allow them learn it while they are in school? So there are a lot of conversation around that. But before a school begins to open up AI to their school, to their students, there are some very fundamental things they will have put in place. And those things will require policies, getting the parents involved, setting protocols and rubrics to measure work done and how work is assessed, and references. There are some universities that are referencing AI tools now as part of their references. They are accepting it. So all of that are things. In a school that has no facility, then the focus will be on how do I, as a teacher, use this tool to help myself so that I can have more time to focus on helping the students themselves. All right, so we'll collect this question. I think I'm going to check now if Yano is here. He's the next person that will be handling another session. So let me see if he's here and I can bring him in. See.
Sorry, please. We have two more questions from
All
the
right.
attendees.
While we get Yano ready, let me. I can respond to those questions.
All right.
All right. So, what are the questions?
Namaka, can you please ask your question?
For teachers. Teachers.
Oluseye, can you go ahead and ask your question? Seems Namaka is unavailable at the time.
Okay, any other person?
Oladiti
Hello.
Moshood. Oladiti Moshood.
Okay.
Can I speak?
Yes, then go ahead and speak.
Yeah, go ahead, Namaka.
Okay. Sorry, please. When I
Good morning,
introduce
sir.
AI to teachers,
Sorry?
when I introduce AI to classroom teachers, they often feel it's not recognized by the government and therefore not allowed. So what do I do?
All right. So again, you are not using this to you're not using what you're using AI for is to, can you mute please, is to help you in your work. It's not as if you are changing the curriculum. So for example, I pulled up a curriculum earlier on in trying to prepare for this session, a grade 6 curriculum on for the FCT schools. And there's the topic, there's the objective, there's the teacher activity and student activity. So rather than the teacher spending too much time trying to find resources, what you are doing is getting those specific thing that has been given as your curriculum and you are putting it into AI and it's helping you generate content. Then you as a teacher would have to work on it. At least 80% of your job has been done. You work on it and then you tailor it to meet the specific need, such that you are having a starting point. You are not just starting from scratch without any resources. So you are not changing the curriculum. It's not as if we're using AI to change the curriculum. We are leveraging it so that you are leveraging AI's rich access and rich content repository to add more flesh to your content. AI has access to more examples than you, has access to more real use cases than you yourself. So it's not a matter of replacing the curriculum, it's a matter of providing more content and more context for the curriculum so that the students' view of your topic is broader than what the textbook says. The textbook might have 5 or 4 examples, but AI can give you multiple examples um, to buttress and to enhance what you're teaching and to make it more digestible for the students. So it's not about changing the curriculum as to say the government doesn't allow it. You're still meeting your learning objective, but but much more than that, you are opening it up for more context and more content. We can have this more discussion. So I have Yano here. I will stop. I think he's on the screen. I'll stop sharing my screen in a moment. But he's going to be talking to us. Let me see if I have his the agenda. Okay. So Yano is going to be talking to us about is going to be talking about sorry, I need to pull up the agenda. I kind of forgot. I don't want to guess.
No problem. I'm going to talk about ChatGPT and best practices.
Yeah, so but let me pull it up. We were supposed to, we had a video that was supposed to play to just introduce you, but that video isn't ready. So I'm just going to read, just give a brief introduction to Yano, what he does and what he will be taking us through in this conference. Just give me a moment. Let me pull it up. All right, so Yano will be speaking on ChatGPT, prompt engineering for educators, best practices for better results. Like I've said multiple times during my session, the way you get the best out of generative AI is what is called prompt engineering, knowing how to craft what you need to say so that you can get the best response. In Google search, the more specific you are, the more limited you get. But with AI, the more specific you are, the more rich you get. So if there is any skill that any educator or anybody using AI need to acquire, it is the skill of being able to do proper prompting. And coincidentally, our first webinar series will be on prompt engineering, and we'll discuss with Yano if he wants to come back on that. But let me just do a brief introduction of him since the video is not here. So Yano has 6 years of startup building experience in edtech industry, founded his first company, Bahubiri, during his university day, bootstrapped it for 4 years and got acquired by Seco in a cash and stock deal in late 2021. After heading it for another 2.5 years, he recently exited to build his next venture, Monsha AI, for teachers and educators around the world. Product, customer, and go-to-market are his comfort zone, finding problem, building solution, getting them out in the market, and building a meaningful business along the way. Kindly make welcome Mr. Yano Islam Piash as he presents during this conference. Thank you. Yano, you can take it away. You can share your screen. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen now.
Cool. Thank you, Timmy. And hello, everyone. Welcome to this session. Let me just share my screen. Can you see it? Yeah, thank you. I just want to know, there are 131 of you here. Where are you from? From which countries? I'm from Bangladesh, and I am guessing many of you are from Africa region, but I would like to see where else and where specifically. Yeah, nice to be here. So I'm guessing you can see my screen, so I'll just go on with my slide. A bit more about me, actually not more, actually repeating what already Timmy said, but in my words. So I am Yanur Islam Piash. You can call me Yanur or Piash. Our friends call me Piash. And I'm from Bangladesh, as I said, and I come from chemical engineering background. So I studied engineering in a Bangladeshi university. And while studying, I started a company called Bohubrihi. So Bohubrihi is a Bengal word, which means multidimensional in English. So I started it with my friends in our dorm and grew it for like 4 and 5 years. And then another company, Shiko, which is a leading the top edtech player in Bangladesh. So they acquired our company. The whole team and whole company joined Shiko. So I moved into Shiko and I served in that leadership team for another 2.5 years before quitting. So I quit that company to work on my next company, which is Monsha.ai. And as you can guess, it's an AI tool for teachers. So throughout all those years, I've worked with students, I've worked with teachers, and I had different ideas like what to work on. So I decided, and with my co-founder Adil, we decided to focus on the teachers. And because my wife is a teacher and Adil's wife and Adil's mother, they are teachers too. So we decided to work for teachers and started talking to them, started like pinpointing their problems and focusing on 2 or 3 problems to solve with Monsha.ai. So this is an opportunity for me as well, because I get to speak to a lot of teachers in a place. So when the organizers approached to me for this conference, I was very looking forward to it. So here you go. But before proceeding to the sessions, here's some context. There are many AI tools in the market: ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude. I created this presentation specifically for ChatGPT, primarily for ChatGPT, but you can use all the tactics and all these information or best practices for any of those tools. Personally, I prefer ChatGPT because it suits my use case, because I am a bit of more advanced users, and some of its advanced features help me quite a lot. So I use that. But lately, I have been using Claude as well, and honest to say, I'm pretty impressed by the content it generates, because especially for text, it generates better results than ChatGPT in my experience, because ChatGPT sounds like more AI or robotic in its response, but Claude sounds like more human. So I prefer that. But again, for my use case and for my diverse set of uh, needs, let's focus on ChatGPT right now. So before jumping into the tips and tricks on ChatGPT and how you can use it, first let's quickly go through why you can use ChatGPT, or what you can use ChatGPT for. So I did a survey among the teachers. I talked to them online, offline, whatever I could, and so they tell me they're obviously using it for lesson planning, using it for class presentations, lecture notes, using it to differentiate instruction or any content for a different grade level or for a different difficulty level, or even language, whatever. They are generating content for teaching materials, for study materials, and any text-based things. They're also creating quizzes and tests. They're creating assignments, creating rubrics for those assignments, and even some of them are trying to generate those assignments submitted by students based on those rubrics. So here is a caveat here. If you try to create and if you do it for 40 students or 50 students in a class, it's still a lot of work, because you have to use the same prompt, provide the same prompt 40 or 50 times. So in those scenarios, this is still a lot of headwork, and you can further reduce the workload in 2 methods actually. One is actually using those tools. They're specifically made for grading based on AI, or you can use custom GPT. This is an advanced feature from ChatGPT. You can Google it, you can check it out, and you can see some tutorials on how to create custom GPT for repetitive advanced tasks. I'm not covering it here, and it would be too long. Also, you can create different learning tools, flashcards, worksheets, simulations, whatever. To be honest, I've personally not used them as of yet, but you can try. Other teachers are trying according to the survey, so you can try as well. And obviously, anything writing related, you can use ChatGPT, be it parent-teacher communication, email to parents, teachers, or admin, report card feedback, assignment feedback, anything. Any text related, you can create within ChatGPT, or you can better it with ChatGPT with the right prompts. So now let's get to the prompts. From now on, throughout the rest of the presentation, I will be sharing 9 to 10 tips specifically on ChatGPT. I will start from the basic and then move on to the more interesting and complex ideas. So first one is pretty straightforward and pretty obvious. You'll have to obviously include as much details as you want in your query. You don't want to just say, hey, create me a lesson plan. You'll have to also define the grade level, define the subject, define the difficulty, what components you want in your lesson plan, reference maybe, whatever. So you'll have to put as much instructions as you can concisely, because you don't want ChatGPT to guess what you want. You have to put it there. But again, you also have to be wary that more instructions doesn't mean more text or heavy, fluffy, long prompts because those do more harm than good. So you'll have to put as much instruction as you need so that ChatGPT doesn't have to guess, and also you'll have to put it in a concise or succinct way. Here are a few examples. You can take 30 seconds to just read them. I'll then go to the next slide. Also, if you have questions, you can write in the comments. I'll get back to them when I can. Okay, so next one is, this is interesting, asking ChatGPT to adopt a persona, because when you are like writing something or using ChatGPT, you are using in a chat or in a thread. So you're likely to talk with ChatGPT, keep back and do back and forth, follow it up with further prompts. So you're having a conversation with ChatGPT. So if you ask it to adopt a persona at the beginning of that conversation, it converses with you from that point of view, as that persona. So all the things it says resonates with that persona more, and that the voice, the tone, the writing style, the content output uh, falls in that category or in that style more. For example, ask it to or uh, pretty simple but pretty important, because what ChatGPT does is it doesn't read the whole prompt and then starts analyzing it or starts generating the output. It doesn't work that way. So if you write a long prompt, it starts reading the prompt and starts analyzing or making up the output in its back of its mind. So if you don't put the main instruction, main action point in the beginning, and if you put it in the bottom, by the time it gets to the bottom, it has already started generating some kind of responses based on the fluff you have put in the beginning. So it's very, very important to put the main action point as early as you can in your prompt. For example, this is the right way. Summarize. This is the action point, main action point. Summarize the passage below and then the passage. You don't want to like, here is the passage, then the long passage, and then summarize it. You don't want to do that. This is not the best practice. Another disclaimer, these and all the tips and tricks I will be sharing in this presentation works best, especially when the prompt is complex and the task is complex. You wouldn't find much difference if the prompt is pretty small and straightforward. So for example, for a small prompt, putting summarize in the beginning or end doesn't make a lot of difference. But as the prompt gets heavier, these actions, these tips come in handy. So it's always better to keep these as your practice, so that these are good habits to build while using ChatGPT. Next up, use delimiters to clearly indicate distinct parts of the input. So if you are writing prompt, for example, it's a big prompt. There are action points, instructions, and there are also contexts. And in context, you are putting out different information within your prompt, and they are creating like the output based on those information. So oftentimes you might have to put in different types of information and refer to those information in your prompt. So it's always better to use delimiters like triple quotes or XML tags or like subject heading or paragraph heading to separate those information and lay out in a rearrange in a way that is easier to read. For example, in the second example here, it says you will be provided with a lesson abstract and a suggested title for it. And then there is an instruction based on the abstract and title. So here is the abstract and here is the title. So you are referring to the abstract and title, and you are putting abstract and title in a title format. Also, here is 3 double quotes or triple quotes, as you can see. And here is another example. This is saying you will be provided with a pair of teaching method descriptions. So there are 2 teaching methods. So I'm referring to teaching methods which are delimited with XML tags. So here is the tag method, and here's the first method within that tag. Here is the second method within the tag. So I've put those methods separately because each methods could be a long, a multiple paragraph. So each paragraph might have double quotes. So if you are already using double quotes to like separate some portion of it, you can't use another double quote to separate another portion of it. So you might have to use different delimiters in a single prompt, maybe double quotes, maybe paragraph title and tags. So the more complex the prompt, the more delimiters you can use to distinct one type of information from another type of information and refer to those information within your prompt in a clearer way so that ChatGPT can read easily. Again, handy if the prompt is more complex. Specify the steps to required to complete a task. So if you ask ChatGPT to like do a big task which involves multiple steps, you might say, hey, let's do that. This is a big task, let's do that. So what it will do is it will break down the task in its head and try to follow those steps and come to an output. But if you know that this task is complex and there is a chance that ChatGPT might go in the wrong direction, it's always better practice to like lay out the steps yourself so that ChatGPT can follow them and it doesn't have to think or calculate back of its mind. You are just ChatGPT is a noob. You are laying out all the steps for a noob so that they can follow and follow along. For example, this is a prompt. Use the following step-by-step instruction to respond. So step one is I will provide you with a text in triple quotes. So this is a delimiter triple quotes and there is a text as a reference. So here is the text. And step one is summarize the text and call it summary. Step two is translate it into Spanish. Translate the summary into Spanish and translate. So next one is specify. It's easy. Specify the desired length of the output. So if you are in a space crunch, like you are having to put all these text in a small text area or a part of a bigger content. So each component should be smaller, should be concise. You can specify the output length. Even if you are not in a space crunch, ChatGPT often tends to generate longer text. If you ask it to, hey, write a lesson plan, it will like probably generate 300 words lesson plan. It would be fluffy. It would be unnecessary words, unnecessary paragraphs. If you don't ask it to be concise or succinct specifically. So in times like that, you might want to specify the length. You can specify the length in terms of number of words, number of sentences, number of paragraphs, number of bullet points. But keep in mind, in my experience, and ChatGPT recommends this as well, paragraphs and bullet points are better to specify the length. If you specify using number of words or number of characters, it gets close, but it doesn't quite get accurate. So ChatGPT doesn't quite follow the character limit or word limit. So it's better to specify in terms of number of paragraphs and number of bullet points. Next up, articulate the desired output format through example. For example, if you are creating an if you have an Excel sheet and you want to put extract information from that Excel sheet and put it in a specific format. So in your prompt, you should specify that format so that ChatGPT can extract that information from the Excel sheet or maybe from a large block of text where there may be a scientific research paper. There are lots of information, but you want to extract those information and put it in a presentable way or a way that of your likings actually. So for example, this is the text. You can see it in second bracket. Here, this is the reference, and this is where you are putting the instruction like extract this information, and this is the desired format: school name, comma separated list, principal names, number of students, number of teachers. So this way you get what you want and how you want it. This is fun. Instead of saying what not to do, say what to do. Because if you say, hey, don't do it, it won't do it, but it also doesn't know what to do instead. So it will assume the next best thing and it will do that. But the next best thing isn't either what you want. So instead of saying, hey, don't do it, actually specify what you want from it. For example, this is the wrong approach. Don't just focus on dates and battles while creating a report on, say, French Revolution. So don't just focus on dates and battles. So you can turn this don't into do's. For example, analyze these, use specific examples. Instead of focusing on dates and battles, focus on that instead, right? You get the idea. This is very important and this is most useful to all of us. Provide reference text whenever you can or wherever you need. These language models, be it ChatGPT or any other model, they are fed into information from a large data set from around the internet and public information. And oftentimes they're relevant, but sometimes you want them to be super relevant to your base content, your reference, maybe a lesson plan, maybe a textbook, maybe an article, maybe an YouTube video, whatever. So you want that output content to be super relevant to your reference text. So whenever you have those reference texts, whenever you can, use them and use them using delimiters like this. So here you can insert the reference. You refer the reference in the beginning, use the provided text in triple quote to come up with answer. So here is the text and here is the question. So it will use this text to come up with the answer of this question. I will see more examples of that in the future, in the later slides. But even when like you put this reference text, ChatGPT still tends to go outside of this reference and use its information to come up with more output that is outside of your reference text, and it does in a way, so it does it so confidently that you wouldn't notice like this it skipped your reference or it went beyond your reference. So if you want to make it accountable, more accountable, and if you want to stick it to your like reference, there is another trick, which is instruct ChatGPT to answer with citations from a reference text. So you have given a reference, and as it generates output from that reference, you can also ask it to cite the part of reference it is using to generate the content it is generating. For example, this is an example. Take a minute to read this and then I'll explain. So here I have the reference delimited in the triple quote. I am referring the reference and I'm putting the instruction, answer the questions using only the provided document. And I'm also asking it to cite the passage of the document used to answer the question. And if the document does not contain the information, just simply write insufficient information. I'm going one step further. I'm also asking it to use the specific format to like cite the citation or cite the reference. So it is still getting unclear. So I'll just share an example of an output from this prompt. So here is an output. This is the output. This is the content it generates, and this is the citation. And this in double quote is the part of reference it is using to generate this part of the answer. This is another citation, part of a reference to generate this content. It also says does not specifically discuss metaphase and anaphase, two phases of mitosis cell division. So the provided document doesn't answer. So as I said, if you don't have the answer in the reference, just say it. So it just say it. If you didn't do it, if you didn't push it this hard, it would go to the internet, it would confidently come back with another answer. So we have shared some of the tactics, and if you combine all the things we have learned, all the best practices we have discussed in this session, and put it into one prompt to create a comprehensive prompt for, say, lesson plan creation, it would look something like this. I'll give you 2 minutes to read this prompt and find out or think in your mind what are the good practices discussed here have been followed in this prompt. Okay, so it says you are an expert teacher, so I'm asking it to adopt a persona skilled at creating engaging and effective lesson plans. So this is his task. She is a teacher and she's skilled at creating engaging and effective lesson plans. And I'm putting the instructions. I am referring to the reference or instructions there in demarcated in delimiters, 3 double quotes. I am telling it what to do, not telling it what not to do. I am also like laying out the format of the output. I want these components in my lesson plans and instructions for each of these components. I am also specifying the output length in terms of words, which is a mistake, not mistake, less recommended practice. I have also, like, this is a recommended practice, 5 bullet points. So I've specified the bullet points as well. So these are some of, and I've also, like, yeah, you get the idea. So my point is all the things we have discussed, all the ideas we have discussed, these are not comprehensive list of ideas. There are many other ideas, and not all of these ideas are equally useful for all of us. So it depends on your use case, it depends on your style, your content, what you are generating, and some of it are more useful than others. So the best way to deal with them is to try it yourself and find it out. And ChatGPT tends to be better. So your 10th lesson plan will be a lot better than your first lesson plan, and the number of follow-ups needed to get the perfect answer will be reduced over time. So give them a try, and give other examples or other ideas a try as well. And if you find all of them like still way too overwhelming, you can always use other tools like Magic School or Defeat. I'm sure these are being discussed in this conference, and you will be getting tutorials on them. So yeah, give them a try as well. The thing about Magic School is I like that there are many tools, so they cover the prompt engineering for you. Although I personally believe those prompt engineering could be done better, could be more comprehensive, but you get to generate a wider range of things. So they have a lot of the tools. Another tool I like is Defeat. I like it more because it is not so wide in use case compared to Magic School. It does a few things, very few things, but does it very well. They are very thoughtful on their product. So you can try it as well. And also, obviously, you can check out Monsha.ai as well. We are not yet at par with Magic School or Defeat to be honest, because we're just starting out and we're having to have some catching up to do as well. But as of now, you can create lesson plans, academic resources, and questions. You can like provide your reference, any text, YouTube video, link from the internet or any topic. You can specify grade level, language, and question types like MCQ, true, false, whatever. And if you hit generate, you will see something like this as an output. So this is pretty basic in terms of flexibility or functionality, but the output is quite good as per feedback. So you can check it out, and I would be most happy if you just share your feedback via piash@moncha.ai. And that would be the best outcome for me personally from this session. And in return, I hope I have been able to share some of the insights I've generated working on prompt engineering. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much. You can still leave your screen sharing. You can still share your screen. So in the event that people have questions. Thank you so much, Yano. Can you still share your screen? Please share your screen. Okay, I think that's fine. So thank you so much for your time. And we're just going to open it up for questions. If we have questions, I think some people have questions. Let me look here. Because I once engaged ChatGPT 3.5 version requesting for accurate and current reference, but discovered that the references supplied were not real. How do I correct this?
Where is this?
It's a question. Say I engage ChatGPT 3.5 version requesting for accurate and current reference, but discovered that the references supplied were not real. How do I correct this? It's on the Q&A. You can check it out. Four minutes ago.
Yeah, I got it.
So do you want to speak to that?
So
yeah.
I'm not sure what not real means. Also, I would suggest using GPT-4 because in terms of searching internet in real time and like putting reference or reading reference or external links, ChatGPT-4 is better, but I understand that's in the paid version. So I'm not sure what not real meant here.
Okay. Another question says, excuse me, how effective is ChatGPT in research writing, such as thesis, proposal, journal, etc.? Because I use it, but it does not give detailed answers.
Yeah, so these are good for like surface level research or primary level research. You will have to obviously, like if you start from the top down approach, you will have to first you will have to first ask it to generate surface level question, and most of the time it will generate surface level question unless this model is specifically trained on research level topics or scientific research or journals. So I know there are other tools based on AI which are specifically used for pulling information from research articles using all the directories of research. So you can try those, but for ChatGPT, it always has limit because it only uses the public information to train their language models. So if you have to use ChatGPT, just start from scratch, use it to like do preliminary research and then deep dive into each section of it with further prompting, and then back it up with like probably real research articles.
All right, there's another question. Hi, everyone. I am a researcher in the field of international law and human rights law and a reporter for the Oxford University Press. I think we read this one earlier. I started using AI tool for my work, especially. I usually write on decision made by the African court. Okay, so I think I answered this one. I made them know that if 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 the research, if the judgment or the if what you are researching on is something that is very recent, a recent decision, you won't find it, especially because if it is not in the public domain before the last data set that was used, um, none of the AIs will be able to provide that for you. Another question says, I teach Bible and other contemporary topics in a youth church. Can this AI tool be useful for me, and which one? Yeah, all right. So this is, you must understand that AI is a tool. It looks at resources online. So one of the resources that will be online, that is online, is the Bible. So it will pull resources from the Bible, and it will be based on, and that's one of the things that, especially in issues that has to do with ethics, religion, and all of that, AI is trained by human beings. So you must understand that their bias is factored into the AI. At one way or the other, a left-leaning or a right-leaning developer will always build his own quality or values into his product. It's like that with every human being, every producer. You build in your value into your product. So that is why you might use it to gain resources. And like we've always mentioned, as a teacher, as a user, as a human user, you have to be the brain behind the content you are going to use. AI helps you pull resources together, but you are responsible for how you use that resource. And so I think that will provide that context that you don't give your brain over to AI. You use your brain, you engage it, you get resources, and then you work on those resources before you put them out. I've been on a panel where somebody was giving an example of student or of people looking for employment, and they used ChatGPT to write application letter. The person was so, as in the person was so naive, such that he or she just copied everything that ChatGPT provided with generalized text that put your name here, put your address here, put your position here, put it in the application and sent it. That is like giving your brain over to ChatGPT and letting him do everything. No, it's supposed to be like the 80-20 rule. You still put the most important aspect of your 20% into the work to get out a product that you are pleased with and that reflects the message that you want to pass across. Can the question be timed within a specific time for students to respond and complete the questions? All right. Okay. Can questions be timed within a specific minute for students to respond and complete the questions? So this, you are looking at, okay, on tomorrow, by I think the second session tomorrow will be a walkthrough of an AI app that also does examination. So you might want to check on that. But if AI app, some of the ones we demonstrated today are not exam delivery platforms. They can set the questions for you, they can help you, but they don't determine, they are not exam execution platform. They don't offer that. So except for those that are specific for that purpose, there are some out there. I would like to know if I can use this tool for evaluating students, especially in facilitating workshops or tertiary institutions. Yes, we looked at Brisk, and I think Magic School and all of that too. All of these AI tools can provide feedback. So you can, and then when we start looking at the chatbots and the tutors, you can upload rubrics into them and decide who is A student, who is B student, who is C student. And as they engage with the AI, based on the rubrics you have already uploaded into that platform, into the chatbot, it will assess them according to that rubrics. Eventually, you have the final say, I think during the Flint AI session later today or tomorrow, that will also be demonstrated for you to see. So most of the chatbots, you can determine how you want them to engage with the student.
So there is another question. All the engineering prompts you explained, are they particular to ChatGPT or is it applicable to every other AI? So they are applicable to ChatGPT and its direct alternatives like Claude or Gemini or Copilot. But if you mean every other AI, means OpenAI based tools or other language model based tools like Magic School or whatever. So anywhere you have to prompt, these are useful and these are applicable. That's it.
All right. Any other question? Let's see. Thank you, Mr. Yano, for the valuable value passed across. Is it safe to say that all the engineering prompts you explain are particular to okay, you have answered this. Anyway, okay, let's see. Okay, we have answered this. Please, what web AI have? I think it's going backward. What is rubric? Just now? So a rubric is a set of instructions. How do I put it? It's a grading scale that is not percentages. Okay, I think the best way to do this is, I don't have an example. So a rubrics could be it's a way of not maybe qualitatively assessing a student work. You can
like
say,
judgment criteria.
Yeah, judgment criteria. You can say excellent. If the student does this level of work, then it is excellent. Very good if he provides this amount of information, then it is very good. Then good, and then fair, and then very bad. So it is not based on percentages nor ABC. It is based on some descriptors. That excellence means the student provides or produces this level of work. So that is what is called a rubric. So you can determine. I think we would look at that also in one of these sessions that talks about rubrics. Okay, I'm a Yoruba teacher at an EdTech company. However, it's been very difficult trying to generate Yoruba lessons content online due to most apps not having Yoruba. Yeah, this is one of the nuances of education in Africa. I remember when we were setting up this program and I had to engage one of the providers, and one of the conversation was that the fact that AI has very limited data sets in Africa. And that is true because Africa is a very multilingual and multi-tribal environment where everybody have their languages, and those languages have somewhat gone under the colonial language. It's not like that in Asian countries. Unfortunately, in Africa, it is like that. And so there are no texts. There are no texts, and there are no true sources of text, original text in most of our languages. And so there are still most of these LLMs and most of these AI platforms are still don't have those languages built in. You can still find them on Google Translate, but some of them have, some of these AI apps haven't. I think I have seen one that has Hausa. I know Google Translate has Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, but most of the AI platform, I don't think they have gotten to that point yet. So nonetheless, I think as it evolves, it will be. And that's one of the things we also, we posted in the group chat about one of the purpose of the conference is also to build something for the Nigerian sector to meet our particular need in terms of language and our use cases. So we'll be pushing out the forms again. We need feedbacks and support and input from relevant educators to help building features into those things. I think, do we still have questions? I think. All right, so let's put our questions in the question and answer section. Yeah, you still have another, I think, okay, so I'll be moving on to the next session. Yano, thank you so much. I'll get back to you on maybe any other thing. We're looking at prompt engineering in a more elaborate 1 hour, 2 hour session during our webinar series. And I would see the possibility of bringing you back so that we can really do deep dive into, and then it will be more like a hands-on session, not just a keynote or a presentation like this, where people will get into their laptops and they'll be able to practicalize some of these tools. So the first one will be towards the ending of August. I'll let you know if that session is fine for you or if subsequent ones will be coming up. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Bye.
your time. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye. All right, so I'll be taking the next session, which is a follow-up on where you are not stopped. I'm just going to share my screen now, and if you please let me know when if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. Let me see. Is this my presentation? This is not it. So let me just pull up my presentation, then we can continue. Sorry, productivity. Okay, that's part 2. Sorry. All right, so thank you very much for all those that have stayed with us all this while. We're going into the last session for the morning session, and then we'll go on break and then be back by 1 p.m. So I'll try as much as possible to just finish before 12:30 and maybe finish by 12:15, and then we can take some question and answers. So we've looked at part 1 of productivity boosting app, and then we're just going to take the part 2, and then I'll move on. Again, I won't focus too much on the slides because it's supposed to be hands-on. So tools are not meant to replace teacher, like we said, but to empower them. And that is what we want to look into, some other tools that we can leverage on as we go into the practical session. So Yano has talked about ChatGPT, but there are other ones that are built on large language models like ChatGPT, major companies, and they do almost the same thing like ChatGPT. So most of the prompting and all of those text and coding and text-based prompts that he showed us, you can use them on Perplexity, Copilot, Cloud, Gemini, and Poe. And I will just run through at least a few of these, and hopefully I can get through all of them. So whatever Yano have said, we can apply them in principle across all of these platforms. So we won't need to go through ChatGPT anymore, but we'll just go through Poe, Gemini. Gemini is owned by Google. Notebook LM is also owned by Google. The Microsoft Copilot is Microsoft's owned AI. Then there's Perplexity. It's also another AI that is built on large language model. Facebook also has its own. There are a couple of those ones outside there that are built on huge public data owned by very big companies. So we'll be looking at, I'll start first with Poe, then go to Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, Claude. there won't be so much to explore in all of those, but just to highlight that they are there. Some of them have their very special features that differentiates them from others. So, but before I go ahead, let me also say something about prompting. So there is what is called this this is one of the graphics produced to just categorize how we do prompting. It's called create. The first one talks about context. So the first one talks about context, the situation or environment in which the prompt is given. Provide background information that will help the chatbot complete the task. So you have to tell it, okay, it's a science class, for example, or so just provide the context so it knows the area that you are focusing on. And as mentioned earlier, the more specific you get, the better the result that you will be able to pull out of it. The more specific, the better the result. Role is critical for you to get the AI to assume a role. So it's more like role playing. This is the role you want the AI bot to take on. If you had access to anyone in the world to complete this task, who would you like to help you? So I want to create a lesson plan. Then you can say, you are an expert grade 6 teacher, and you need to teach this course. Can you produce a lesson plan? So you need to put it into a role. You need to know the context. You need to put it into a role. Then you need to provide also specific example. These are the benefits of some of these AI tools that we went through earlier, in that they've already built in the prompt engineering for you. By the time you select grade 5, you're already telling it the context in terms of the student. Then you put in grade 5 teacher. Then you already provided a role. And then you're putting the task. When you say grade 5 student, you already put in the audience, then the task, and then what it should evaluate. So example provides specific example or a clear description of the desired style and tone, e.g. mirror the tone in the paragraph I have provided. Here, you don't, in most of these tools, that like I showed you, you don't have to write it. The tones are already there. I want it to be official. I want it to be humorous. I want it to be playful. So those are the tools. And that's why some of those tools, especially for teachers, some of those tools are better off than the general purpose generative AI, because they are built for general purpose. And that's why you have to know some of the engineering terms or some of the scripting codes to use to get them to provide you the necessary information that you need, whereas some of these tools already have them. You need to also be clear with the task. Start the task with a verb. The task is the specific request you are making to the chatbot. Example, generate 5 lesson plans for a unit on mapping. So generate is the word. You are not just going to say 5 lesson plans. You should tell it what it needs to do, not what it should not do. Like Yano mentioned, tell the Gen AI what you need it to do, not what you don't want it to do. Check the output to make sure it is accurate. This is very, very important, that we don't surrender everything to AI. Just like you will not surrender your life to your assistant or your tasks to your assistant. AI is our assistant. You don't surrender everything to it. You proofread what you have said. You check the sources, especially for those of those tools that provides you with sources, which we're going to look into. You have to verify those sources. I think that's the end of my slide. Then we're just going to, let me see. We're just going to practicals now. All right, let me close all of these ones that we practiced with earlier on. All right, so let me bring ChatGPT up. I want to first highlight a few things with ChatGPT. Now, in case you don't know, there's this option in ChatGPT called, I don't know, okay, there's this option in ChatGPT called Explore GPTs. If you click on it, these are what you will call different GPTs or apps that people created leveraging on the model of ChatGPT. Just like you have apps in the Play Store or in the Google App Store or in the Apple App Store. So these are all GPTs that people created, developers developed. So as educators also, you can come in here and find a lot of task specific GPTs. So these GPTs, they've narrowed down what they can do and what they are doing. And so because of the focused, because of their focused role and responsibility, they are leveraging the large language model of OpenAI to provide you with those specific instructions, just like School AI and the rest. So here you can see productivity tools, Canva, video. I think you can also see research and analysis. So for some of us that are into research, you can come here. If ChatGPT isn't giving you if you don't know how to do all of those engineering things that you are not sure to us, you can leverage these GPTs. For example, Excel GPT. You open that one, you can play around with Excel. Maths GPTs there. There are some that are education. So look through this, you'll be able to see many more GPT that are task specific, and you can leverage on that. Write for me. So there's also those that are for programmers. So you can explore this. I just wanted to highlight this to us that within ChatGPT, there are apps that you can also leverage on and use more effectively. There's one that I used before. This one is called presentation, and you can use it to create slides directly here, and it will create the slides for you and put images and all of that. So that's a good example. So you can check that out for those of us that are familiar with ChatGPT. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then we'll continue with the other things. Start. All right. So we first go to let me start with which one do I start with? See. All right, we've done ChatGPT. Let me start with Poe. I like Poe because Poe provides you with one stop platform to access all other AI models. So from Poe, you can choose which of the AI models you want to use, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or DALL-E or OpenAI, any of that. So it pulls all of those, it leverages all of those AI, LLM, large language models to produce your answer. So you can select which one you want. It's as simple as the same thing. You click on your Google account if you have a Google account, or you can sign in directly with another email. So that's just the simple step of signing in. Let it come up. I don't know why. Sorry. Okay, so you see, if I want to start any chart, I can decide which of the bots I want. Is it Cloud, which is an LLM on its own that we would also look at. Let me just open it here. Then there is Perplexity, and then there is Gemini, and there is Copilot. Sorry. So all of this, you just need to log in or provide a username and password. So for poll, I can decide, I can write the same prompt and use Claude to generate the answer. Then write the same prompt and use ChatGPT to generate the answer. And then write the same prompt and assign it to Gemini. And then I can compare the three. And one of the tools that I will show before the end of this session is a tool you can use to now aggregate all of that together. So let's just let's just create a lesson plan. So this I'm using this. I just created this. So if I go back to explore all my charts, it shows me that I use the poll assistant to do this. I can go back again. So I'll choose Claude. I want to use Claude this time around. I'll create the same thing with Claude, and then I'll generate. So you see it's using Claude to generate it. I can keep that aside and then still go back and use, maybe I want to use ChatGPT 4. I want to generate the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm from one app to the other. I'm using this single app and I'm leveraging those three other places. So I'm just going to take these three. So this is one good thing about Pro. And also another thing is that like ChatGPT also, there's a community and people are building app. You also are building bots. You also can build your own bot and monetize it, and people can use the bot. So there's a huge community around this too. So you can create your bot yourself. I know a school that created a bot that answers questions on their website using Poe. I think let me bring my original account out and show you from there. Let's see, it was a school. I think I can't find it. So you can create a bot and make it do whatever you need to do. You can provide all the resources that you want that bot to leverage on. Unlike the normal bots that you see on websites that are already, the answers have already been pre-programmed. When you get to a point, it will tell you to contact support because it can't provide any other response. But with AI bots, there can be an engagement. It won't just be by predefined responses. So you can create your own bot, put all your own resources into it, and people can ask it any question about your organization, your school, or anything. So that's a good example of the use cases in Pool. But I really like it because I can, from it, look into different other language models and compare the content that I get from them. And that's the best way to use AI also, because you are comparing two places and that you're able to now aggregate their thoughts together to produce whatever you want. Anthropic Claude also is almost the same thing. You just sign in with you log in, you register with your Google account. One of their feature that I like is called projects. You can work on a project. Validation field. If this doesn't work, I'll just bring. Okay, this doesn't work. Let me bring my personal. So for Claude, it's the same thing. You can write the same prompting. Everything we've learned today about prompting, you can also use in Claude. And it also, for projects, you would need to get the upgraded version, the paid version to use the project. For the project, you are able to pull all your resources together and then warehouse them in one place. And then the AI will reference those things to engage in whatever question you need to ask. It's good for research in that you are able to, especially what is called literature review, get all your literature resources and put them in that project, create a project folder and put them in it. And then you can begin to ask it to do things based on those documents that you provided. But that feature is part of the paid feature. But for me, I think this just works fine to do whatever it is that I want to do. So that's Cloud. Perplexity is one that I also like, especially for people doing research, because it provides you with sources. It provides your source at the top. And this is just what is Flip Classroom. So it provides you with sources at the top, and you can verify those sources, whether they are true or not, vis-a-vis the content that it provides for you. Unfortunately, and then it also indexes it. You see, it puts 1, 2, 3, so that you know which source, and then you click on it, it opens on another browser for you. That's the beauty of Perplexity. You can, especially those of us asking for the sake of research, this is a good one for us to use. Whatever you ask it, it looks online and provides you with the requisite references that it used. So you don't have to do all of those things that you are not told us to make sure it's using this reference. This provides you the references and you can verify. Again, verifying the content that AI generates for you is very critical in everything you do. Let me see which one is left. So that's Cloud, Pro, and then Perplexity. I want to spend more time on Notebook LM. Then the other one is Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is the same thing. It also integrates what is called Microsoft Designer, so you can generate content and generate graphics also. But everything is the same thing. If you are using and it's free also, you just need to have a Microsoft account, which you can open with your Gmail anyways. You have access to. This is the Copilot. This is Designer. It allows you to design graphics. You can just type in whatever you want and create a realistic. Let's see what is here. A photorealistic image of a futuristic. Oh, I wanted to say Oshodi market. Oh, it's not design. Okay, sorry. This is sorry, it's not design. Okay, it's generating it. I wanted to say Oshodi market. I said Ashodi market. It might just generate something unnecessary. Okay. It looks like. So that's Microsoft Copilot because they already have an AI-driven image generator, and they integrated it with their AI chatbot. So it gives you that flexibility to easily switch between the Copilot and then so there's also cooking assistant, fitness trainer, and all of that. So that's Copilot. So we've done ChatGPT, Pro, Claude, Copilot. Which one is remaining? Okay, Gemini is Google. It's the same thing. Google Gemini. So I think what I would advise is if you are using this, just make sure that you are you have balance out what you have on both sides, and then you are able to. What's this? Okay, something went wrong. It's not allowing this account, but let me pull up my own. So you see, it's the same interface. You just put your prompt. You can also attach image. Good thing about most of these platform is you can also do voice to text and text to speech and speech to text. If you have the app on your phone, you can speak to it directly and it will respond to you. If you want it to speak back, his responses also, you can do that. So most of them already have that feature. So you're not limited by whether you have a device or not. Your hand phone is a good place to start. Finally, for this session, because I think we have 15 minutes more, I just want to do, I want to show us Notebook LM. That's one of the tools that I also use very, very well, because it creates a platform for you to bring all your resources, aggregate all the resources, especially for researchers. You're working, or people writing their projects, or even if you're a curriculum developer, you are developing curriculum, and you have so many materials. You can put them together in one place and then put them under a notebook in Google Notebook LM, and then the AI will only be limited to those resources that you provide. It will not reference anything out of that resource, as to be able to begin to, so you're not worried about references anymore, because you curated those materials and you have put them in one place. You have verified the sources. You know these are the sources you want to use. So you are not concerned whether the AI will hallucinate anymore or provide you with wrong references, because you gathered the material in one place. So, and it's really very, very powerful. So you just create, I have different notebooks created. And let me go back. So for some of my presentation, I put all my resources together and I have them in different notebooks. So to start, you just create a notebook. And then you see, the first thing you need to do is add resources. So if you have documents in your OneDrive, if it's a PDF, if it is a text file, let's say, for example, you've even done some part of your, so this is attaching documents, so you can attach documents to it. Copy text is text that you copied from somewhere. Let's say you've even started your literature review, or you've even done your literature review, or you've done your project. You can copy it as a text or a part of it and dump it here, and then begin to engage the AI to maybe bring out some points, however you want to engage. So you can copy and paste the text here. You can add, so you can also copy a URL. If it's a website, you can copy a URL and put it there, and then you can copy a file and also dump it in there. So all of those resources, you can pull them together. And then when you pull them together, let's go to one example that I have. So let's say, see, invention of the light bulb. I click on it. You see all the materials are here. Then when I say notebook guide, as you put the materials there, it would begin to aggregate all those materials together and provide you a guide, a simple guide on a summary of all the materials and everything that is in that material. It's a broad summary of those materials. And immediately I can say, okay, I want a briefing document. I want you to brief me on all of these documents. So whether you're in a corporate world, or you're a teacher, or you're a researcher, or you're a student, this is really very useful. For example, as a corporate person, you have a lot of minutes of a meeting and all of that, or documents to to read through before you go to a meeting. You can pull all of them here and engage with it and begin to look for keynotes or key points that you want to highlight. And then the AI does that for you. So I can say, okay, I want a briefing document. Sorry. I think this is because I didn't create this one. Let me just go to one that I put resources into. So this is one that I put resources into. I didn't prepare any resource to upload, but this is one that I put resources into. So I can click on the notebook guide. It provides me with summary. I can say, okay, generate a study guide for me. And then it begins to generate it and puts it in one place. I can also go again and say, generate a timeline for me. So it begins to do all of that. These are some specific things that it can do by default that they already put there. But you can also ask it suggested question. Any of these things that you are doing, the AI is only referencing all the materials that you have here. Let's say, for example, I want to remove only 2 materials. I want to reference only 3 materials in the next conversation I want to have. The moment you see here updated, I'm only using 3 sources. So any conversation I have now with this chart or any of these things that I click on, it will work based on these 3 documents. So that gives you the flexibility to move things around the way you want. I think this is also a good tool. One good thing also is within your conversation with the tool, it begins to provide you even references to where it picked those things from. So let me click this out. Let's go to this one. Let me look at, there's one that I did that has reference, and you're able to click on it. Let's look at the guide. Okay, so you can see, did I copy? Trying to find, it provided 1, 2, 3 the sources of the book, and then you can open it directly. I think this one is messed up. I can't seem to see it. Let me try another. No. Previously, it provided me with the sources of, it will source those, it will reference those materials that he used and what section of the material he used. It did that in one of my. Okay. Sorry that didn't work, but I've seen it do that while I was preparing for some other things. I can't just, I don't just know why it's not working now. So one more benefit to this is you can also share it with people. So if you are collaborating, you can, I'm the owner, for example, I can give people access and I can determine the kind of access I want to give them. Is it view only, editor? And once they are done, I can revoke. So this provides you the opportunity to also collaborate and work together with colleagues and friends. So all of these tools are available. They are all free. But I think for those that are doing research and all, and that are doing researches or building things or writing research papers or working on projects, they can leverage on Notebook LM to pull all their resources together. You can leverage on Perplexity to verify your sources. Copilot also provides sources. I've seen that a lot. So I think we just end this here. I just wanted to run us through some of these tools that works alongside ChatGPT so that you see that you can leverage all of them at the same time and pull your resources together and be able to compare notes between two AI so that you can get the best out of it. We'll just open it up for questions and then we go on break and then come back for the afternoon session. So are there questions that we're looking at? If we have questions, then let's take those questions. So any question? Do we have any question? All right. If there are no questions, okay, I think there's a new post. Yeah, this is the screen I am on. I just wanted to find out if we have questions. I'm using another screen to check for questions if we have questions. Yes, to use Notebook LLM, your resources must be inside. You cannot use it without resources. If you open any one, it will ask you save notes with Apple, it will ask for resources. So this is good for people that are doing research. If you want, or people that are writing books, if you just have a lot of things you're working on, ideas you're working on, you can put them all here and be able to plan them out, add notes and accordingly put more resources. So I think you can put 20 resources from what I've learned, because it's still, if you can see at the top here, it's still showing experimental. So they are still developing it, but it's a very powerful tool. They released it, I think, about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So you can have at least, I think, about 20 sources. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so somebody.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I used Gamma some time ago, and I used it for a while, and then suddenly it started asking me that I needed to have some coins to still be able to use it. So my question is, are there other free AIs for PowerPoint presentations like Gamma?
Yeah. We had looked at, if I don't know if you missed out on the first session, we had looked at Brisk. The PowerPoint slides will go out. You can see. So Brisk is you can use it to generate PowerPoint presentation, School AI, Magic AI, all the tools that we used, that we profiled during my first session today. You can produce PowerPoints directly from there with the free license. There is no token. It's not token based. So I know some AI app are token based. You have limits that you can do a day. Some of these ones are not. And then I also showed us GPT, ChatGPT, Explore GPT. You will see PowerPoint presentation in some of these. And
wow.
so you can see if you go to Explore GPTs, you can search for PowerPoints, and I think you should be able to find a couple more that will be able to do PowerPoint, Slide Maker, PowerPoint. So there are a lot of them, and they are free, so you can use them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Somebody is asking, please, sir, can you go over to Copilot? How do you generate the market sites you did? Thank you. Okay. Can we use this AI for Arabic text? So I think you just need to check if they have Arabic language. Some of them do have different languages, like School AI that we tried out earlier. I think a few of them have. A few of them have. Okay, so we use. Let me see defeat. I'll go to a few of them might have Arabic. We're just going to try it now and see if it does have Arabic. See this translate. So let me see if there's Arabic. All right. There's Arabic. So I'm going to translate this text in Arabic. So I'll just translate the summary. I'll just translate the summary in Arabic. Let's see how it looks. If it's going to do it, and then you check if it's correct. So some of them have inbuilt languages. Okay, so this one, you can see it came out in Arabic. I don't know if that is correct, but again, it's our responsibility to check. So if the language model has Arabic, then it can translate whatever you want into Arabic, which is what it just did here. Okay, somebody asked about Copilot. Let me switch over to Copilot, and you're asking how I generated that image of the market. So it still boils down to prompting. You have to know exactly what you want. So when you log into Copilot, I'm using my, let me see if it's my corporate account or my, yeah, I think it's my public account. So you click on designer, and then I just say photo realistic image of Kano market. I grew up in Kano. Let me see if it will allow me to share Sabongeri. All right, so Sabongeri market in Kano. Let's see what it shows. All right, so yeah, I think we have to call it. We have to go on break now so that we keep to our time, because we have people joining us from different parts of the world. So after this, we're going to leave the meeting running. There's going to be a countdown timer. So this is its own way of demonstrating Kano market. Oh, Sabon Gari. Wait. So yeah, that's how you generate image. You have to be specific, tell it what you want, give it specific instructions, and it will try to produce as much as possible. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We would be back by 1 p.m. and then have another session. Let me just bring over the sessions that we are having. Let's see. Let me bring over the agenda so that we see what we are having in the next session.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear
you. One more person needed to ask a question.
What was the question?
Mrs. Zube Moralo, can you please go ahead?
If she's not ready, maybe you can ask it on her behalf so that we can move on.
I think she raised her hand.
I don't know what you have to ask.
All right, so by 1, we would start with AI-powered flipped classroom, bridging the home and school for enhanced learning. Then we'll do a deep dive, and then there will be two other sessions from time-saving tip to transform.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I am Mr. Zube Moal.
Okay.
My question is it possible you can download literature or articles from different database like Scopus, Google Scholar, etc. into Notebook LM based on a particular topic you want to write on, and ask the AI to generate a paper for you?
Yes.
Is it possible?
Yes, it's possible. So you, like I said, you get all the sources, load it into it, whether it's PDF, links, if it is a PDF, if it is a Word document, if it is a link, if it's an excerpt of the document, you are able to copy and paste into the text. Whatever you put in there, you can now begin to engage it. And then whatever, however, how good you are with the engagement will determine the depth of what it's able to produce from those sources. Yes, you can do those. So I think we're just going to end the call, not necessarily end the call, but we're going to go on break, and then we'll be back by 1 p.m. to continue. Thank you, everyone. We'll do a countdown, a countdown timer. We'll start counting down from now, and then we can go on break. If you want to stay within, you can stay. Otherwise, we just see you when we get back. Thank you, everyone. It's been a wonderful time since we started, and I hope to see you guys when we get back. All right.